Good evening, SBC. Good evening, SBCC. Good evening to everyone, all points north, south, east, west, perpendicular, in between, under the cover, everywhere else. This is the August 23rd edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. And I am your host and head cook and van driver and moderator and everything else, Mr. Mike Walker. Glad to have each and every one of you here with us. Glad you could join us. Glad you could spend your Tuesday evening with us. So, hey, we got a lot of topics to cover tonight. So, hey, join in. So without further ado, let's get with the excuse me. Get with the salutations to our studio audience. Let's get with the Andrea, glad to have you here. Jewel, great to have you here always. Jenna from ATL, glad to have you here. Marcus, oh, okay, glad to have you here. Michael Wash, I think this is our first time seeing you here, brother. If it is, glad you could join us. Theodora, always glad to have you here. Michael Jones McKeever, great to have you here from the DMV. Kitty Mac Cat, hello, howdy to you. Natalie Cook, I think this is your first time here. If it is, glad to have you here. Sherry from H Town, good to have you here. Teresa, always a pleasure to have you here. I don't want to miss Kelly. If I pronounced your name right or wrong, please let me know. But glad to have you here. Rachel, good to have you here. Katie from Arizona, great to have you here. Oh, there's a bunch of y'all showing up tonight. Mark Blair, I'm glad you're with us this night, though. You still up, must have woke up early to see with us. Okay, that's good. Leslie, great to have you here. Well, shenanigans already start. Van driver, where are we going? We are going, I don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere, though. So I tell you that much. Margaret from Pennsylvania, glad to have you here. Rhonda from the Sunshine State, great to have you here. Deborah from Austin, Texas, glad to have you here with us this night. Okay, dokes then. Without further ado, let us introduce our panelists for tonight. Starting with my left, is Leslie from Beeham metropolitan area. From the ATL, Mr. Tron, he's glad he's here with us this evening. From Birmingham metropolitan area, wearing his bucket hat, Mr. Marcus Wilbanks. So I don't know, he's throwing up signs. Okay. And from the Garden State, we got Michelle. She's great to have you here with us. She's gonna beat me up tonight. So pray for me. Okay. Y'all doing all right today?
Absolutely.
Okay, dokes then. Okay, dokes then. Well, we're gonna start. We're gonna get started though. Here we go. We won't even show up tonight. Where are all the good men?
Very good question.
Where are all the good men? Now I know you see two good men up here with our Tron and Marcus, but ladies, you know what? Ladies, where are all the good men? Leslie, do you have an idea?
If I knew,
Uh-oh.
I don't say it like that. I know a lot of good men.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're single, but I know a lot of men who are good. They're honest. They're believers in Jesus Christ, and they're Christians, or have believers in a particular faith or something. They're out there. Good men do exist. Um, I think the question most women have to wonder is like, where is the good man that is for you?
Mm.
Because just because someone's a good man, I have I have a couple of best friends that are guys, and they're very good men, but they're not the men for me. you know? So we have to realize that people can be good, people can have great personalities and be smart, successful, but they may not be the right person for you. So we can't dismiss, you know, everybody, and with that statement. And sometimes I don't think we know what we want. You
Mm,
know, we sit here and think, what is it like? What is a good man? What is your criteria? Because those good is that word is subjective in so many ways. And so what's good for me, it may not be good for you. And so when you think of it from that perspective, it's like, okay, well, what is good to you? Why is it good to you? Because you need to have a scale of how you're measuring this, and is it a realistic way of measuring this value in this man that you want for yourself? And can you compete? Can you be that good? In other words, what you're expecting in that man to be good, are you already checking off those same factors, those same things? You know,
mm-hmm,
you want a man that's wealthy and successful and has all these particular things, and you're not wealthy, you're not successful, you're not educated, but you want the man to have all these things. So, good is subjective. Like, good for me
mm-hmm,
is someone who is smart and funny and witty and has integrity, believes in God,
mm-hmm,
loves God, and willing to love me just like he loves God. That's
mm-hmm.
good to me. And has a cute smile.
Okay, well, brothers, if y'all watching this, there's Leslie. Meet her in the after party. Sure, told y'all. Okay.
And there's,
Uh.
and there's so much more to that, so I'll flesh that out another time. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a high level stuff.
Okay. Shell.
Yes. I mean, Leslie said it all. There are plenty of good men. And it kind of upsets me when sometimes um, it's made out to seem like there's no good men. There's plenty of good men. Is that man good for you? So, I mean, Leslie hit the nail on the head. Is that good? Is that good man for you? Is he good for you? And if he's not, that doesn't make him not a good man. And
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes I see women make the mistake of vilifying or taking
Mm-hmm.
that good status away. He just wasn't your good man. He's
Mm-hmm.
somebody's good thing, right?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
So they're definitely good men. Definitely. And much like Leslie, most of my friend base is male, and they are good men. They're not for me, but that doesn't make them any less good. So yeah, I mean, I think that it's a myth that there's not good men out there. I just do. I think it's a myth. Um, they are not all for you, though. And that's when it becomes a little difficult and tricky because you want the one that's for you. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Thank you, Shell. Let me read these comments as they just piled in. Andrea says, as in answering the question, we're all the good men. In plain sight, the lens you view them through determines what you see. Mm. Okay. What do we see? And let me see. Shima McCoy says, should we have to compete? Okay. Uh, Rachel Carey says, oftentimes women also want men that don't want them. Hence, no good men. Hmm. I think that can go both ways too, to be honest with you. Uh, L says, I threw away the list. I threw the list away and started looking at what my core values are. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is a good one right there. Mm. Michael Jones says, right here in my mirror. Okay, ladies, he's shooting his shot too, so y'all better listen to this. Okay, and Charlita says, unfortunately, yes, it is a competitive dating market. Hmm, interesting. Interesting. We might dwell on that a little bit, but I'm gonna get to the brothers. We used to hearing when people say, well, where are all the good men? And I'm not meaning to offend anybody what I'm saying. This is what they say. People say, well, they're either married, locked up, or they're gay. Okay? That's not my saying. That's what the people, women on this, not all women. That's what they say. Sean, how do you feel when you hear that?
Unfortunately, again, I live here in Atlanta, so I get that a lot.
Mm.
I think it devalues the guys who are really out here trying to be serious about relationships. It devalues who we are, and especially if you know your value, it kind of like automatically gives takes off a discount of who I am because of this stereotype or this stigma that's out here. But I think that if it's I think it's harder. It's just as competitive and just as hard for us men too. Because we have to deal with the guys who are the clowns and the guys who are putting on shows and presenting a certain facade. So it's kind of degrading sometimes, but you got to fight those obstacles and try to find true love at the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Marcus, how do you feel when you hear that line? And keep in mind where we live at, you and I, what area we live at, though. How do you feel when you hear that line about all the good men?
The old saying goes, one person's trash is another person's treasure.
Yes, sir.
See, this is the one thing that really upsets me, and I think we already point this one out. There's no good men. And every time you hear a woman say that, you would think the good men is trash to them. And that really upsets me. That really upsets me to the core, in which when somebody says they looking through the stem of the lenses here, that is one thing that I cannot believe in, that type of myth anyway, because I never believe in myths like that. See, there are good men out there. The ladies have to understand that. Certain ladies have to understand that just because a man has a certain turnoff or a certain pet peeve that really upsets you does not necessarily mean that the inner qualities, the inside qualities of a man should manifest itself into a blooming result. I mean, I'm not saying that Tom is a good-looking 6'4" guy that has everything in his life. Good job, good income. But then the women, certain women view Mr. Tom as a playboy. Hey, but we can't get into the inside of what they see without knowing the person himself. I mean, some people may view me as a type of dude that's you may be looking like a good-looking guy, but what? But what? Right. You may never know. You may never know how much of a good guy would have the intangibles of his own knowledge, or the intangibles of his own certain charm anyway. Hey, so the thing about that one, where are all the good men? I think certain women in this world, and I'm not disclosing every woman in this world. Certain women chase those guys away that has the intangibles here.
And that made me think, though, what you just said, though. But one thing we have to keep in mind, that each culture is different. Each culture may, especially in the United States, yeah, definitely. But I have to ask you brothers this, though. Do you tell those sisters that, hey, I'm the exception? Give me a chance. Not so much begging, but trying to convince them that, hey, I'm not going to hurt you like that other dude. There are good men out there. Do you approach them? Do you try to plead your case with them, or do you just say, you know what, I'm about to go home. Bye. Let me go to get me some coffee or something. What do y'all? Go ahead.
No, because that's what they do. They don't advocate for themselves.
Okay.
And I think because we are in this situation where there's so many women to every man, they don't have to work hard to get us. It seems sometimes. I mean, I've seen that if I ask the wrong question or lead the conversation a different way, they're like, oh, they get frustrated and they move on. Because they're not. It's not clicking or whatever. And what I'm asking, I'm trying to get to know them, and they're not wanting to be known or something. So it's like, why? It's just like, okay, what's going on here? But I think they don't advocate when you're trying to get to know someone and you're trying to figure out, like, if they really want to engage with me, and I could be iffy on some things about them, but I'm not really sure. So I'm trying to give them the opportunity. But sometimes when you ask questions about certain aspects of their life that you do have questions about, that you do have concerns about, they just what's the word? They just clam up. Because they already have I'm hitting an insecure spot in their life. They may be insecure about some mistakes they've made in their past and whatever. And I'm asking because that's a concern. If this is something in your life that's a concern for you, it's gonna be a concern for me. So we're asking and discussing to figure out what your mindset is, what's going on in that space. Are you healed? Are you removed from a community of people that led you astray? I'm asking, especially of a certain age. I mean, I'm almost I'm a certain age. I'm still getting
yes. I understand.
I say it out loud right now, okay? But you should have some type of confidence in who you are. You should know who you are at this point in your life. Even though we're evolving, as we all do, as we get older and older, you should know who you are as far as your character, what you believe in, what your faith in, what your dreams are, even at this point in your life, what you're passionate about, what are your goals, how you plan to retire, what you plan to do, what's on the bucket list, what's left on the bucket list. These are things you should know. Like, you ask people stuff like this, like, I don't know. I'm like, you don't know. You don't know? So, okay, I have other pet peeves around that. But I'm just saying, because one thing I was telling her, I think I said this last week or some weeks ago, I said I asked this guy, because you meet people and you're like, man, I'm really interested in you. Please tell me. I would love to know more about you. Ask me anything. Oh, we ain't finna play 20 questions. We're not finna do this. I expect at your age and maturity to be able to spit out a few sentences about who you are. Instead of me going through, are you married? How long you been divorced? How many children do you have? How old are they? What do you do? What do you like to do? What do you do? Okay.
And then sometimes that's where organic, I guess, connection come in, where you don't have to.
You don't understand what that means, Mike. You don't understand what that means.
It happens naturally. That's just a fancy word.
I know what it means. I know what it means.
Oh.
I'm trying to give it the opportunity to happen like that, but ask me what you want to know.
And see, and everybody on the panel, that's probably one of the worst things that has happened to us, and one of the worst things we can do to someone else. Like Leslie said, it's at the point, well, we have to present our cases these days, because guess what? Our mind reading abilities no longer work. I want to know, I don't want to go too off, but what are your goals? What are you working on? Let me know. Hey, you know what? I do this. I have my own live stream. Hey, maybe you could come on, that'd be the advantage of you being my woman. You could come on here and advertise I'm just saying, find some way to
connect.
Yeah, to connect. Now, meaning I don't want to take over your brand And definitely I don't want you to take over my brand though. But if we're gonna be a couple and we have different endeavors, we can still help each other out one way or the other. So, okay, I didn't mean for that spiel though. Let me get these comments.
It was in your spirit. You had to let it out. It's okay. The same thing with me. You had to let it out. So somebody heard it. I hope we bless somebody in saying it.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Let me see. Rachel Carey, we put sovereignty of God to shame when we don't believe that he also has a hand in leading us to the mate he has for us. We have to understand not every man we meet is for us. Sometimes we have to go through a few bad apples to find the right one. But do we have to? Go
But
ahead,
my
Shell.
thing is, they're not necessarily bad apples. They're just not your apple.
Thank you. Go to another tree.
That's the thing. Like, and I don't, and yeah, there are bad apples, but I don't like the way that rings because it said a lot, right? It said a lot when we're talking about our men. And it's just not true. They're not all bad apples. If they're not your apple, that's fine, right? Maybe you want a Macintosh and it's a Red Delicious, but that doesn't mean it's not a good apple. I guess I feel very passionately about that because I have met good men that are smart, funny, ambitious, hardworking, love the Lord. They're not mine. And that's okay, right? That's okay. We can build friendships. We can network. They come across your life for a reason. And it's okay if that's not your boyfriend, your man, your husband. That doesn't mean they serve no purpose in your existence and you can't serve a purpose in theirs. Like, I think sometimes we get so tunnel vision that we discount quality people that can serve us in our lives because they're not our husband. I'm done. I'm sorry.
No, you good. No, you good. Bravo.
I love the apple analogy. That was perfect.
Yes. Apples. Now you want me? Now I want some apple juice.
No, you
Thanks.
don't.
Thanks.
No,
Thanks, Jill. Thanks. Yeah. Yes. Tell it. Every saved man is not for me. Okay, Shell. You said a word that time. You said a word that time. Look. Okay. Look at that. Now let me see. Let's get some more comments and let me see. Show y'all video, but let me get to these comments. Got a lot of them. That's good though. Okay. Natasha Montgomery, in regards to what Marcus said. Marcus is passionate right now. Okay.
Marcus was feeling it. Marcus really was feeling that.
Yeah. Okay, she supports you. That's good. Okay.
Hey, Natasha.
Kitty said, what one woman defines as good, did I really define? Yeah, may not be what another woman defines as good. So it's silly to say that there are no good men.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, bro, Reginald, I let my
Miss
actions
you,
speak.
Reginald.
Yes, you need to come here, please. I let my actions speak for itself. In other words, I can show you better than I can tell you.
All right, I can hear him saying that too right now.
We can show here. We can show here. It didn't got to the point I know each other's voice. I could just hear it,
Exactly. I heard it. I heard his voice saying it. Yes.
Yeah, Mark says people need to just spend the time to get to know each other. They might fit your type or they may not. You won't know until you at least try to get to know them.
That has been my focus these last few years, to really get outside the box and really get to know people, because people have different music likes and hobbies. They have different things, hobbies that you wouldn't even think of doing yourself, but you don't have to do it yourself, but you can support them in doing what they're doing. I mean, I think you have to get outside what because if you grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, and people did the same stuff around Birmingham, Alabama, and then you encounter somebody that's from Boston, Massachusetts, and they have a different hobby. They eat different. You got some people up here about they don't eat grits. I'm like, you don't eat grits? What are you talking about? But they grew, it's where they grew up, So I think you have to realize when you get outside the box that some people might not have the same likes, same hobbies, and all this, and then they're still good people just because they don't like your kind of music. you know.
Mike, I got a question.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
You know, I wanted to touch on. I wrote down on my little notepad the advocate thing. Right? Do you feel
Yes.
like as a man you got to advocate for yourself when you walk into a room or you're introducing yourself to? Or do you feel like you got to advocate for yourself?
Sometimes, sometimes, it's there's sometimes I have to say,
Mhm.
hey, this is who I am, and then sometimes I don't. But I'll be honest with you, the times that I do not have to advocate for myself are the sisters that are attracted to me, and I don't have to do much to get their attention.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. Ooh, look at that teddy bear over there. Ooh, and this, that, and the third. Okay, well, I don't need to do anything. That's how you do it. But for the ones that are not so receptive of us economy-sized people, then I have to say, you know what? Hey, now I'm not trying to get them to change their minds now. They still
Mhm.
have a right to their preference, but hey, I'm a human being just like you. You know, this is my goal. I work for a living. I have my own brand that I'm working on. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So if you're interested, fine. Maybe we can, like I said a few minutes ago, maybe we can work together. If not, and nothing happens, okay, I respect your decision. Take care. And I go to the snack bar. So that's all I would do right there. So I don't know what more I can say on that. I don't know what more I can say on that. We got a lot of comments in here. Woo, I like this. Hold on. They coming fast. Tia. I think what happens is that folks get discouraged with the search/wait. Instead of saying there are no good men and women, we should really say the search is exhausting and I am discouraged.
I'm tired. I'm just tired. I am tired. Okay, I said it. I agree with Tia. I'm just tired.
Exhausted, not exhausted. Exhausted.
I'm just Zal. I'm just Zal. You know how I say I'm just
You
not
can't even say
poor. I'm
that.
just not poor. I'm po. I'm just Zal. I'm Zal. I'm making up words. Zal. I'm Zal.
And it can be tiring. It can be tiring on both ends. The sisters want to say, well, I can't find that good man. And the brother's saying, hey, I am a good man. And then guess what? The brothers on one side of the room during the dance, the sister at the other side of the room during the dance. The music is playing and no one's dancing with each other.
Cause we slide.
Yeah, we slide. We slide.
I'm being silly. I'm sorry. I'm being silly.
Okay. What? Oh, they got a response for Tron. Here we go.
Uh-uh.
Cam Shackelford, glad to have you here, ma'am. Tron Confidence steps into the room
That's
way
right.
before the man reaches the table,
That's right.
loud and clear.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you, Kim.
Okay. And D. Giles said, I try to bring everyone together. Okay. And y'all coming in. Reginald Balders, in anything worth having requires work and the C word, meaning compromise. It's not a bad thing. And so folks would say the question is, how bad do you want it? And what are you willing to do to get it?
Mm.
And relationships do take work. You have to do it. And it goes back to saying we got to plead our case. It's a shame that we have to go that far these days, but guess what? You got to do what you got to
Well,
do.
what do you mean that far? Because we're talking about even before the relationship is even established.
Mm-hmm.
Just the getting to know each other and
Mm-hmm.
willing to, be transparent and open with someone to figure out there's a connection. There's all these things. There's all these
Mm-hmm.
things you got to figure out before you even decide. You know what? I like you. Let's see how this works. And so often you don't even get that far.
Mm.
Because they don't want to do the conversing. You know, some of them just want to skip the, hey, you cute, how you doing? Mm-hmm. Come on over here. And let me holler at you. And they want to jump all the conversing into the other benefits.
Mm-hmm. That makes me want to put Dwight Sloan comment up here. I'm grinding on them thick hips. Wine for me. Let's go straight to the point, huh? Okay. But that's not the way to
Who
do
we talking to?
What?
Dwight, let us know who you're talking to.
I know, right? Like, who showed? Did somebody stand up and show their hips? I ain't seen nobody stand up. We missed some conversation in the chat. You missed something. You must have skipped over something.
Sometimes when people are studying at the University of U, individuals get the wrong study guide. And when it's time to take the test, they fail. Be real.
I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, I don't get that.
Leslie, if you are tired, then meet who? A tired man. No shade. A tired man. Okay.
So me being tired is gonna cause me to meet a man who is tired as well?
That does sound kind of little,
I mean, if I'm tired, I'm not even out there looking. Because when I look, or I'm pursuing, or not pursuing, but when I'm looking or engaging in that space, I'm all in, and I'm completely attentive and focused on what I'm doing. When I'm getting frustrated and tired, I don't get it because I'm not gonna be my best self.
I get you. Well, we're gonna move on, folks, a little bit. We're gonna move on just a little bit, but we're gonna kind of segue into something that's a bit similar though. But before we do that, y'all, don't forget,
subscribe, share.
It's just that simple. Just that simple.
Like, share, subscribe, y'all.
It's just that simple, y'all. Just that simple. Now, let's kind of flip it over about where all the good men. There are some saying we don't need a man. There are some that say, hey, I don't need a man to do this because he lets me down or what have you. And I don't know, Les, I don't know if you sent me this video or Shell sent me this, but probably Les though. So I'm gonna play this video. Y'all take a look.
Let me say something. When I was down financially, I never called any man that I was dating. You know who I called? I called Shay. She would give me $5 for gas. Or I called Allison. Allison couldn't give me no money, but Allison at least gave me some of her food so that I could have something to eat for lunch. When I have trouble with stuff around the house or my car or things of that nature, I never called a man that I was dating. Why? Because they wouldn't come through. Or if they did come through, there was some BS that came with it. You know, I called my dad. Or I figured it out on my own. When I have my emotional moments, I'm feeling some kind of way, I'm confused, I'm hurt, I need some guidance, I need somebody to help calm me down. You know who I call? My best friend, Ebony, or I call my mom. I don't call the men that I'm dating in my life. Why? Because to them, I'll be too emotional. I'll be too needy. Well, my homegirls that were single parents, when they needed help with their kids, they never called their child's father because they weren't reliable. Who did they call? They called their sisters. They called their cousins. They called their family members, and they called me. Can you help me pick up my kid real quick? Sure, I got it. I'll sit here with them. So the fact that men aren't needed anymore, it's on you. You created this. When you meet a woman, you want her to need you. You see her car dirty, go wash it. If you're dating her, take her keys. Go put gas in the car. You see something broke around the house, fix it. Call somebody to come fix it if you don't know how to do it. Trash. If you go to her house and you see her trash full, take it out. Those little things will let her know that you're on her team and she can rely on you. Because as single women, we can only call men and ask for so much before we consider gold diggers, needy, too emotional, or we just looking for somebody to take care of us. No, I need help. We all need help right now. This is tough. If you want me to need you, then you got to show me that I can need you. So until then, guess what? You're just going to be wanted. As soon as that want is no longer there, meaning you don't make me happy. You're not bringing me joy. You're not bringing me peace. You're now making me cry. You're bringing me struggle. You're making my head hurt. You're hurting my feelings. You gotta go. I don't need to work this out with you because I don't need you. Make yourself needed. If you can't do it financially, do it emotionally. If you can't do it emotionally, do it financially. You can't do either one of those? Help around the house. Put food in the fridge. Do something. And thing. I can order that like it's pizza now. So, ask yourself why you're not needed. And that will probably be the answer that you need so that she will need you.
That was me. I sent that to you.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I watched it, I was like, wow. I found it very interesting because it didn't speak from any of my prior experiences, right? Because even though I have past relationships that didn't necessarily work out, they were people that I called when I needed help, when I needed a shoulder to cry on, when I needed to vent, when I needed to talk about things that were going on, when I needed to make big decisions. And I didn't have the concern or worry that they were going to think I was too emotional, because if they got to the point of being my man, they already knew who I was as a person. Shell is emotional, right? Shell overthinks. Shell feels deep. Shell goes hard for her. Shell goes hard for her nucleus, which is very small. And if you made it to the nucleus, she's going to give her all, her last, her everything to make sure that you're good. And she has the same expectation of you. So part of it, in my opinion, is the choice that you made. Did you keep choosing men that were not emotionally available, that were not there willing to do for you the way you were doing for them? Is it your choice? The choices that you made that you need to do, look and inside and reflect on why you made these choices or continue to choose the same type of people. Because we can't always just point this way. Sometimes we got to look within, like, why am I making these choices? Where are they coming from? Why do I keep choosing men that are emotionally unavailable? Why do I keep choosing men that don't support me? Why do I keep choosing men that don't do the little things when I try to do little things for them? Because it was never been an issue. Like I said, they didn't work out, but it was never an issue. My car stayed clean. It stayed all of those things that she talked about. Well, do this and do that. No, because I made sure his stuff was straight. He made sure my stuff was straight. So, dear heart, look at your choices. Why are you choosing the men that you're choosing?
Marcus, what is your response to that video? If she was right there in front of you, what would you say to her?
Good question. Good question right there. I think everything Shell had pointed out is spot on. It was spot on and straight to the point right there. I mean, listen, when you make the choice on understanding that you don't need the man to take care of you emotionally, you don't need a man to take care of your livelihood, meaning your own family, your everyday utilities, expenses, child support. That's like, really, that's on you. That's on you. You're on your own. No, and sometimes every day, I'm thinking like, wait a minute. You don't need a man. You don't need a man to help you out. You don't need a man to help you around the house. You don't need a man to help you, take you to a nearby grocery store where you need food in your fridge here. I mean, hey, listen, that's on you. That's your decision. That's your life. If you wanna go play hero ball, as they say in the sporting world, hey, go play hero ball. Play the game. Play the game that you want to play. But at the end of the day, hey, sometimes you need a little help. You need a little help, and you need it bad. And when you needed help the most, you're gonna wish it. You're gonna need help. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Sean, what would you tell her?
Mike, first of all, let me speak to what she was saying. 8
Yes,
years
sir.
ago, 9 years ago, I came to Atlanta, and I took this young lady out, and I was opening her door for her, and I thought she was impressed by it. And at the end of the day, she was like, "Tron, I want to talk to you about something. I don't like you opening my door because it makes me feel like you're taking my independence away." So, first of all, what she has to understand, she doesn't speak for all women, because some women don't want you doing certain things for them. You feel me? You know, I've been places and tried to take somebody's trash out, and they're like, "Nope, don't take my trash out. I got it myself." Blah blah blah. So you gotta know what you're dealing with. Then it definitely piggybacks off of what Shell said. You gotta know what kind of man you're dealing with. Apparently, she wasn't dealing with certain type of men, and she was in her emotions. I tell her, "Hey, you need to pick. You need to change." Out of all the things, she seemed to be very well versed in those men who didn't appreciate her and didn't want to do for her. Well, you got to do the common denominator. It's you. You see what I'm saying? You are the common denominator in that whole situation. So I would tell her to evaluate, do that introspection first, and then before she tried to say about men and not needed. Now, on the whole needed thing, Minister Farrakhan had this little soundbite they've been running around on TikTok with. A woman actually validates whether I'm a man or not. If you really look at it at the end of the day, you see what I'm saying? She validates whether we're men or not. So I just tell her, like Shell said, you gotta evaluate that pool you picking from and selecting from.
Okay. Shiva says, she says, "Say what? Please open my door." Okay. Tiffany says, Tiffany Davis, glad to have you here. I can handle everything in my house and out. Been doing it for years. I would gladly hand over a few of these responsibilities. Real talk. Saron Gray, glad to have you here. I like a man being a man for me.
And see, that's the thing, right? A lot of times I think the term need is triggering, right? I don't need, on both sides, I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. It's not that you can't do it on your own, but do you want to?
I so don't.
Okay. And that's the thing. Like, oh, I don't need, yeah, you can do it on your own. We've shown that we can. Women can do it on their own. Men can do it on their own. But do you want to? I don't. I can. I do, because I survived, but that doesn't mean that I want to. So I don't have a problem saying, I do. I need a man. Will I move on day to day handling my business while I don't have one? Absolutely. But I want a man that wants a woman.
Hello. Yes. A woman. Okay. A woman.
I'm done.
Okay. I feel, man, it's okay. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Oh, go say it.
I'm feeling what Shell said, because it's like, yeah, when you have to do things, who gonna sit here and not cut that grass and not get it cut because you wait on a man to come cut it? How foolish would that be? We get things done because we have to get it done. But if you want to come into my life and you want to be the man to help me make some decisions on some of these things, help me get some things resolved, help me with things I have to do in my everyday life, that is awesome. I would love that.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? I would welcome that. I have some stuff around my house I need to get fixed. I'm so tired of dealing with handy men that want to take advantage of me because I know more than them. Because I had a daddy that taught me to not be taken advantage of. So I did get mad and they want to overcharge and all that kind of stuff. But anyway,
I have a question for you though. Because yeah, you want a man to do all those things, but do you also feel the need? Because I know for me, I feel the need not only to get those things, but to give the things that the Lord has stowed in me as a woman to share, right? To be able to nurture, to be able to support, to be able to lift up. And sometimes it's hard because it's like you have it in you, right? The Lord has put it in you. It's part of who you are. But you can't just give it to anybody either. So that's stored up. So while, yeah, I need those things from a man, I need to give to the right man.
Right. And we need to listen. I was telling one of my best friends, he's a married guy, and I was just telling him the other day, and I did share this video with a guy that I've been chit-chatting with for the last few weeks, so he may be listening to me talk about him. And so what I told my friend about it is that this guy was dealing with a challenge in his life, and he needed some support. He needed some encouragement in that space. And he was saying in his last relationship, he didn't get that support. He didn't get that encouragement. So when I heard, see, we have to listen. Men tell us what they need, just like we tell them what we need. And we're hoping they listen, and they're hoping that we listen. Okay? Yes, pass the plate for shit. Girl, go ahead and post your cash app, Venmo, whatever. And so the guy was saying he just wish he had someone to encourage him in this space, in this area of his life. And he specifically said what he needed. So I put on my little calendar. I said, okay, make sure you text him this reminder about what he needs to do every day to achieve this particular goal that he's already stated he wants to achieve. So you can help him in that area. Now, it may not involve, this may not be no relation. I don't know what it's going to be. But I'm showing somebody that someone can care about you and care about your well-being and care about what you have goals for your life, even if it just becomes a friendship. Because Mike said, well, Leslie, I need somebody to keep me accountable in this area. I need you to help me in this space. And I said, okay, Mike, what you want me to do? Tell me specifically what you want me to do. He tells me I'm going to make sure I'm on Mike on whatever he has to do. That's what being a good person is. That's what being a good caregiver and nurture. That's what being a friend to me. Bottom line, regardless of it, a relationship or not, it's about being a good friend, being friendly, and being open to be able to anybody. So I think if we share with people what we need, and hopefully they're listening. And that's the thing about when I said earlier that about being all in and engaged. If I'm tired, I'm not listening. I'm not hearing. I'm not paying attention. So if I'm actually wanting to get to know this person, I am fully engaged because I want to hear you when you tell me these things. So I know what your needs are, what your likes are. And just like a woman will say, well, hey, see, this is the other situation I was saying maybe a while back. If I sit here and tell you, say, I like seafood, I like Italian food, and I like these restaurants around Birmingham. This is my favorite restaurant. And then you say, hey, I want to take you out. I said, okay, that's cool. Okay, when are we going? This day, that time. What you want to do? Hold up now. I done told you my favorite restaurant. I done told you the kind of food I like. If you've been listening over this time, I should have to tell you where we need to go. I shouldn't be having to make another decision in my life. I'm hoping you could come in and help work through these type of things, instead of me having to guide you in everything that we do. So we have to listen, y'all. We have to listen. We have to pay attention. We have to be present.
Okay.
I'm up there taking notes.
But yeah, I think so. Yeah, he done leaned back and he right.
I see how you lean him. Trying over there taking notes. Listen to her.
Okay, we're gonna move on to this last. Wait, I'm gonna put this up here right now. Communication is key. Communication is key. Okay, we're gonna move on quickly. Wait a minute, I gotta see these some good points coming in. President actively engaging. Good one too. Okay, and like, excuse me, sir, you put this water in my cart. Yeah, that's good right there. Put that water in there. And for like somebody like me and Marcus, sir, could you get that off that top shelf for me?
Yes, ma'am. Let me get that one off the shelf for you here.
Even if I can reach it myself, I'm still asking. Because I shouldn't have to extend my arm that high to get it anyway.
I see, and we jump in. Go ahead, Mark.
And let's not forget, I used to work in a grocery store too. Way back when.
So you got a lot of women. You helped a lot of women out, Marcus, didn't you?
Hey, look, it's not just the women; it's also the men as well. Because some women and certain men are on those carts. They on them carts right there.
Okay. With that said, we're gonna move on. But before you do, you know the drill. Please like, please subscribe, and please share. Okay, there's a quick one right here. I was going to ask the question right quick. What is your breakup song? What do you consider your breakup song? To the panel and to the studio audience, what is your breakup song? Well, y'all looking to. What is your breakup song?
What song do you play to break up, or the songs you play after you broke up?
It could be both, but especially
it could be both ways. It could be both ways.
I may have a playlist for this. Let me go look.
Oh, I'm not Leslie. Don't play it. They'll shut me down. They'll shut me down if you do that.
I'm not gonna play anything. I'm gonna go look for the playlist.
Look it up. While you look at that, who else?
Can I throw on this one, Brother Mike?
Yes.
Let's see. There were two of them in mind that I had. One was Casey and JoJo. It's called Fee Fi Fo Fum. And I had another one called it's by Lil Wayne and Bruno Mars, Mirror on the Wall.
Okay, and I listened to you since you've been gone after I was done. A lot of them y'all coming in. Unbreak My Heart by Tony Braxton.
That's a good breakup song.
Leaves Me Easy, Coming Back is hard. I can see Sherry. That's all I can say. I can see Sherry with this one. Lose to Win by Fantasia. Well, y'all coming. Anyone else? No, Hit the Road Jack. Oh wow, Natasha.
That's a classic. That's a classic.
Good Morning by India Arie. Yes. That's a good one. I don't have one. Wait a minute, y'all. Theodora says, Go Away, Little Boy by Marlena Shaw.
I never heard of that one.
On Heather Headley, In My Mind. End of the Road by Boys to Men. Natasha says, Leave Me Alone. She on the road tonight, y'all. Jenna Morgan, Thank You Next. Ariana Grande. Any of the other panelists got one?
Please. I Hate You So Much Right Now.
Is that it, or are you just telling me that?
That's a really good one.
Oh, I thought
when
you
you're in your anger phase.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But usually for me, breakup songs, my go-to is just torturing myself, trying to make myself feel bad, listening to music, talking about love that I don't have. So it's not specific breakup songs. It's usually 80s R&B that talks deeply about love that I currently don't have. So I'm just stabbing myself in the chest, really. So.
Yes, no more drama. Okay. Rhonda from Florida asks, Mike, what's yours? When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars. That's listen to it. That's one of those songs where you at home by yourself on the floor drinking that Crown Royal. Yeah, that's that type of song right there. Let It Flow. I mean, they coming in fit. Let It Flow.
They are coming in by the bunches.
Oh, Respect. Fantasia, Free Yourself. Oh, good. Yes, that's a good one right there. And Let It Be Raining. Let It Be Raining. That's bonus. Let It Be Raining. And that's the wrong song to play if y'all at a party of a mutual friend or acquaintance and you see her across the aisle or whatever. You be like, oh, When I Was Your Man. So, I'm just speculating, y'all. This isn't based on true events, y'all. I changed my mind. Well, y'all coming in hard with this. Another sad
they coming in with a lot of breakup songs, like. And here's another one. Here's another
hurts
one.
like hell. Aretha, Why Does It Hurt So Bad? Whitney, Don't Cry. Yes, Usher, You Make Me Wanna. Music Soul Child. Oh, y'all. Which one?
I got two.
Go ahead,
Liz.
The one song I played when I was in high school or college, probably college, over and over again after we broke. I actually recorded the song on repeat. You know how you get a cassette tape and you just record the song over and over and over and over. It played it was like 15 times on that one cassette, on one side of the cassette. End of the Road by Boys to Men. And the other song is Everything's Out in the Open by Johnny Taylor.
Okay.
Everything's out in the open.
And
That's,
here's one more that really came to my mind. And I just sung it right at the Saturday Night Social when we was doing the karaoke night. It was Bobby Blue Bland, but the song is called "Take Off Your Shoes."
Take off your shoes.
Yeah.
Take off your shoes. Okay. Sitting in my room. Okay. We got a few more. This one right here. This is a classic right here. Lisa and Colt Jam. All cried out.
Ooh,
Yes, good call.
That's
Good
that's
call.
Lisa
Again,
Colt
80s.
Jam.
80s, like I told you, 80s.
Yes. Just. Wow. Y'all coming in. I Miss You song. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes featuring.
Ooh, she went deep. That's deep.
He went deep.
That's a deep. Oh my gosh. And the extended version, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Okay, that took me somewhere. Okay.
I like this. Prime of My Life, Phyllis Hyman. Now,
Phyllis. Oh, she's
she
trying
could
to
sing
make
that.
it sad. Phyllis.
Love
she could
Train.
sing it, though. I wish I could go back in time. Well, anyway, I'll leave that alone.
There's always Luther Vandross, too. There's always Luther Vandross. Don't be a fool again.
Oh, yes. That's a good one, Theodora.
Yeah, Kiss and Say Goodbye. Let's just.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Goodbye.
Okay, we're going to do a few more then. Guess what? It'll be time. Mary, I cried my last cry yesterday. What goes round comes round, my baby. Okay. Irreplaceable, Beyonce, Kimberly Reviews. Okay. Shania Twain, Before He Cheats. Okay, folks.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Thank y'all so much.
Telephone Man by New Edition. You know that was a breakup song.
Yeah. New Edition. Is this the end?
I gotta know.
Folks, we got one more. More. Wait, I won't leave nobody out. Oh, that Tennessee whiskey. Well, okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's a good song.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, folks, guess what? We are out of time. We are out of time. So guess what? It's time for the announcements. So, Mr. Announcer Man, could you please?
That's me. Coming up next at 1:30, we are going to adjourn ourselves to the Tuesday Talk after party, where we're always going to discuss about tonight's show and, of course, a whole lot more breakup songs that we probably put on our top 10 list here. So please join us for the Tuesday Talk after party at around 1:30. And you know what we always do every Saturday night. We're going to the Saturday Night Social. It is the Fellowship Hall like none other, and I guarantee you it's going to be more of the same and more of a little salt and pepper to put on that stew.
Wow.
Please join us 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time on the Zoom chat right now. And of course, please join us for another impactful and very innovative episode of Tuesday Talk, exclusively on Facebook and on YouTube, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you follow us. Please tell your friends. Please tell your single brothers, your single sisters to follow us on Facebook at Single Black Christian Connections, and on YouTube, Mike Walker SBC. And make sure you subscribe to the Single Black Christians community page for the absolutely low price of one George Washington dollar.
That's it.
Okay, now
that is it.
And put your order in for your Tuesday.
Oh yeah, listen, lean for You see,
lean forward.
We got the.
You see all those hats that they got on, y'all. See all the
navy and white.
Don't they look stylish, y'all?
And Leslie got the navy and gold on. See, we got them though. So hey, come on now, and we'll give some away too. If you subscribe, you could be in the drawing. So, okay, do that. I know y'all like them. Okay.
Yes.
With that said, though, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all,
Look at
studio
Leslie.
audience. That's it. Thank you, studio audience. Thank you, Leslie, especially with that hat. I had to send you another one. Thank you, Tron. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Shell. And she's gonna beat me up, y'all. So whisper a little prayer for me, though.
You gonna stop telling people that? That's what you're gonna do.
Oh, see? Okay. Tron, Marcus, Shell, Leslie. Yeah, there we go, Leslie. Okay, here we go. Thank y'all so much. Until next week, Lord willing, we'll see you later. So long, everybody.